Okay, picture this. You're in a big meeting, maybe in a really important conversation, or heck, maybe your dad just asks you a simple math question. Someone puts you on the spot and poof, nothing. Your mind just goes completely, totally blank. It's that awful brain freeze, right? We've all been there. Well, today, we're going to figure out what that feeling is, and even better, give you a workout plan to fix it. So let's get into it.
I mean, this quote from public speaking coach Philip Hum just nails it, doesn't it? He was only 10 years old when his dad hit him with a math problem, and his brain just stopped. It is such a universal feeling. And for the longest time, a lot of us just assume it means we're not smart enough, we're not quick enough. But it turns out it has absolutely nothing to do with intelligence. Get ready for this, because it's pretty wild. This is a biological speed limit we are all stuck with. Your senses, your eyes, your ears, they're pulling in information at over 1 billion bits per second. That's a fire hose of data. But your conscious brain, the part that actually thinks, it can only process about 10 bits per second. 10. That creates this massive traffic jam between everything you're taking in and what you can actually think about.
Okay, so let's shift gears from the what to the why. That brain freeze moment, it's not a character flaw. It's not you being dumb. It's a cognitive phenomenon. We're going to look at the actual science behind why our brains jam up, and you'll see it's something we can totally work on.
The official name for this whole experience is a mental block. And you can just think of it like writer's block, but for, everything. It can pop up anywhere. When you forget a friend's name, when you're struggling to decide what to have for dinner, or when you freeze up trying to solve a problem at work. It's just that sudden inability to continue a train of thought. Does any of this sound familiar? Your brain just feels laggy and slow. Making even simple decisions feels like a huge chore. Coming up with new ideas? Forget about it. Or maybe you find yourself reading the same email over and over again. Yep, these are all the classic signs that your brain is hitting a wall.
So what's actually happening in our heads? Well, the best explanation is something called cognitive load theory. Here's the core idea. Your working memory, think of it like the RAM on your computer, can only handle a tiny amount of new information at once. When you try to cram too much in there, it just gets overwhelmed and shuts down. So it's not about intelligence, it's about bandwidth.
And here's the kicker. Our cognitive load is probably higher right now than it's ever been. Why? Well, for one, our routines are always changing, which knocks us out of autopilot and forces our brain to work harder. Two, we're more stressed, and emotions are like programs that run in the background, interfering with everything else. And three, the constant dings, pings, and notifications are stealing that precious, limited space in our working memory.
And on top of all that, we pile on these psychological pressures. The fear of failing, trying to be perfect, that little voice of self-doubt, all of that adds this immense pressure. It's like trying to download a massive file that maxes out your internet connection, leaving zero bandwidth for anything else.
Okay, so that's the diagnosis. That's the problem. Enough about that, right? Let's talk about the solution. We're going to shift from why your brain gets stuck to how you can get it unstuck. And it all starts with building the foundation for a much more resilient mind.
Before we dive into the mental exercises, we have to talk about upgrading our hardware. And that really comes down to 3 basic pillars: what you eat, how you sleep, and how much you move. Seriously, think of these as the essential system updates for your brain.
Fueling your brain doesn't have to be complicated. For instance, the healthy fats you find in oily fish are literally what your brain uses to build healthy cells. The compounds in things like blueberries might actually help boost your short-term memory. And the vitamin E in nuts and seeds, that helps protect your brain's overall function. So yeah, eating well is literally feeding your thoughts.
And then we have sleep. And listen, this part is completely non-negotiable. Shooting for 7 to 9 hours a night isn't just about feeling less tired. That's when your brain gets to work processing memories, locking in what you learned, and, this is true, literally cleaning out waste products. Skimping on sleep is like trying to run the latest software on a computer that you never ever let restart. It's just not going to work well. Okay, our foundation's in place, our hardware is upgraded. Now it's time to hit the mental gym. This is where we get into the active training, the actual reps you can do to build a faster, more flexible mind that doesn't just freeze up under pressure.
And this right here, this might be the most empowering part of this whole explainer. According to researchers, thinking clearly and creatively isn't some gift you're born with. It's a learned attribute. It is a skill. And that means you can train your brain to get better at it, to be more resilient, and to push right through those mental blocks.
So, our first exercise is going to sound a little weird, but stay with me. It's called the recovery rep. Here's what you do. In a really low-stakes chat, like with friends, you intentionally pretend to lose your train of thought. Just pause and say, wait, what was I just saying? And you know what happens? People immediately jump in to help you. The magic of this is that it completely removes the fear of going blank because it teaches you that nothing bad actually happens. Okay, next tool for the toolkit. When you feel that block starting to creep in, you need to become a detective. Your mission is to find the root cause of the pressure you're feeling. And there's a super simple but incredibly powerful technique for this. You just ask yourself one question, over and over. Why? Let's just walk through an example. You start with the problem. I'm totally blocked on this project pitch. Okay, why? Because I want it to be perfect. Why? Because I don't want to look stupid in front of my boss. Why? Because I'm trying to get a raise. And why is that important? Because I really think I deserve it. See what just happened? After a few whys, you uncover the real source of the pressure. It's not about the pitch at all. Now you can deal with the actual issue. This technique is perfect for fighting that perfectionism we just uncovered. There's a great piece of advice writers often give each other. Give yourself permission to write garbage. The goal is just to get something, anything down. Try your so-called dumb ideas. Go down a path you're sure won't work. It just lowers the pressure and gets you moving, because you can only fix and improve something that actually exists. Now, I have to make a really important distinction here. Our goal is not just fast thinking. That can lead to panicked, sloppy decisions. No. The goal is efficient, accurate thinking. It's about being able to calmly shift into action mode and make the right call quickly. So the focus isn't on raw speed, it's on clarity and being effective.
So, where does all this leave us? Let's bring it all home and lay out a clear path forward for you to do your first mental rep. This is the big takeaway from our whole conversation today.
The path to clearer, faster thinking really boils down to three things. Number one, understand your limits. Treat your working memory like the precious, finite resource it is. Number two, build the foundation. Upgrade your brain's hardware with good food, good sleep, and some exercise. And finally, number three, do the reps. You have to actually practice exercises like the recovery rep to build that mental muscle, just like you would at a gym. So, I'll leave you with a final thought, or maybe a challenge. Thinking faster and smarter isn't some secret code. It's a skill you can build. And the very first step is just to start. So, my question for you is, what dumb idea will you explore today to get yourself unstuck and take that very first step?